this chapter will look mutilated. Don't worry, I'm just kind of scared. We gonna do this! What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Another fun fact, here we are to review Chapter 100! Not 99, not 98, not 97, not 2, 100 of Kagurabachi. And you know, here! We got a pre-draw for it. If there's a single chapter in all of creation we got a pre-draw for, it's chapter 100 of Kagurabachi, dog. And I'm excited. Initially, I was going to make this video just for patrons and members exclusively, because I currently do, at the time of recording, have two copyright strikes on the channel. By the time the next chapter drops out, I will probably still have two copyright strikes on the channel because of Kagurabachi. However, considering how hype and crazy this is going to be, I'm just going to view like the chapter. But it's going to look normal for patrons and members. They're just going to get the regular chapter upload. It'll be like all regular videos, because those can't get struck as far as I know. They weren't struck, it was just public ones. But this public version, I have no idea what editing me is going to do. But considering the fear that exists in current me's heart, future editing me is probably going to be even more scared and is going to make this look horrific. But we're going to hop right into it regardless. Let's not waste more time. Let's hop right into chapter 100 of Kagurabachi, that which is known as... Ooh, my neck hurt a little bit. Swordmaster. In quotation marks. Let's see. I'm assuming the swordmaster is going to fry something up. I was going to say fry Yura. But I'm going to say fry something up instead, because I feel like Yura is going to put up a good fight. Let's see. Kabunami headquarters. Lowest levels. The dungeon. Okay. Yura, let's see. It's deep down. You're far away, but you can hear me thanks to the Shinduchi. But see, that's the thing. And this is what I mentioned at the end of the last review. With the swordmaster having the Shinduchi eyes, does he still have access to the power? Like, were they never able to fully desync him? Like, you may be biting off more than you can chew, thinking you can beat the original dog. We'll see. Because we still haven't seen Yura's original sorcery. And even though he is wielding the Shinduchi right now, he's not actually contracted to it. So technically, if any way Yura's going to win, I think it's going to be his regular, insane physical base stats that allow him to keep up with multiple sword masters, Hokuto, Natsuki, and Uraha, on top of whatever his sorcery is going to end up being. Because we still haven't seen that. It's crazy. We've met Yura all the way back in like the 20s, but we saw him even earlier than that. I noticed on my reread, he should have been like chapter 8. Like, he was shrouded. But realistically, we've had this guy for nearly 100 chapters now, and we still don't know his sorcery. So we'll see. You're far away, when you can hear me, thanks to the Shinduchi. Swordmaster. Or Sword Saint. Like, apparently it's called Sword Saint or Kensei, but... Still, I'm call him, when I'm reading, I'll probably call him Swordmaster. That's the chapter's title. Let's see. Oh, wait, no, I clicked the wrong thing. Wait, there we go. Oh. So, this has to be a mistranslation thing. Like, what do you mean, Swordbearer of Magatsumi, the Shinduchi? Or, well, maybe Magatsumi, maybe that's where he's from? But I'm not sure if Magatsumi is a place. I don't know. When I hear Magatsumi, I think of, like, Shin Megami Tensei for some reason. Let's see. Swordbearer of Magatsumi, the Shinduchi. Oh. So wait, I'm assuming, okay, so this is presumably a flashback of this, right? What he was doing back then? Alright. Man, once again, Hokazono Sensei said, wait, I need a break! I need chapter 100 look gas! And so forth, looking gas. But Pencil, you're only 2 pages in. I know! Isn't that insane how gas is looking only 2 pages in? Let's see. Swordbearer of Magatsumi. The Shinduchi. And for such a, like, regular looking katana just has a fancy hilt, it looks so cool. It looks so cool, man. Man, Hokuzono Sensei can make anything look epic, dog. Look at this. Oh, look at him just, hold on. Let me show you the pose real quick. Yo, why he hitting the gong right now, dog? Like, not really, not exactly. Like, yo, why he hitting the, why Sword Saint. I know it's Swordmaster. You know, whatever I said, flip that. Let's see. Sword Saint. Akimura Soga? That name sounds familiar. I'm thinking of that. I don't think it's from this manga, though. Interesting. Akimura Soga. So we finally got his name. I think the only sword bearer that we now do not know the name of is the woman. I think. Because I think we have the sushi guy's name. Forget his name again. Once again. But Pencil, didn't you just reread Kagurabachi? My memory's bad, alright? Memory sucks. Yeah, I just reread Kagurabachi. I still forget stuff. But I'll read it again, gosh darn it. But, I mean, I have time for that. soon. But still, I'll read it again. But yeah, I forgot. But Soga. I think the reason Soga is because that's how I used to say, or like a version of how I used to say Sojo. Because I don't know why I had his name absolutely wrong. But yo, when you got mad, why is the font kind of hard? So, oh, okay, let's see you. Akimura Soga. The man who wielded the strongest enchanted blade and unleashed the malediction, annihilating 200,000 lives on Shokoku. Afterward, he was contained by the other 5 enchanted blade bearers and imprisoned in this dungeon. There was no time to conduct a psychological evaluation, so any diagnosis of his mental health was mere conjecture. I mean, that is true. I mean, I wonder why. Well, maybe it's just not safe to enter that room. Like, that's the thing. I'm assuming it's just not safe to enter that room with all the pillars in it. But I'm shocked they wouldn't try to talk to him. Like, just to, well, like, even from, maybe he wouldn't respond, though, right? Because, sure, there was no time to conduct a psychological evaluation. But, like, couldn't you have brought, like, are there no speakers in the room? Couldn't you have asked him questions and, like, see if he responded? Like, he has just sat there and breathed, supposedly, for, like, 18 years. But then he spoke a word. So, like, he can speak in there. But I guess they just didn't know that, right? They assumed, like, he was so weak he couldn't even speak. Maybe that was it. Because they're like, we cannot risk leaving this guy in a place where he can do anything. But at the same time, that is interesting. They couldn't even, like, they just had to take guesses. But I suppose you do, right? Like how do you deal with or even risk communicating with a man with that much power? And clearly, that level of it, like, it's, as far as we know from lore, the war was over. I mean, he was just like, yeah, slaughter them all anyway. So, like, all right, let's see. Faced with the masses of corpses and subsumed by the Shinichi's powers, he developed into a severely deranged state. But see, that's the thing, though. And this is something I've been going back and forth on a lot. What are the enchanted blades, right? Are they just really powerful swords like my own? Or, it's rare that I take you off the wall. Are they keyblades? Are they keyblades? You may be like, huh? What do you mean keyblades? Each keyblade, as far as we know of, with rare exception, funnily enough, the only exception keyblade-wise is, like, the Kaiblade itself in Kingdom Hearts lore, where, like, as long as you get your hands on it, seemingly you can wield it. It doesn't seem to have any specific master. Unless we get some, like, new lore in KH4 in 2087. As far as we know, each keyblade is assigned to its own unique individual user, right? So, notably, Sora can't pick up Way to Dawn. Well, what used to be Way to Dawn, I think it's Braveheart. Whatever Riku's Karki Keyblade is called now. Like, Sora can't pick up that Keyblade and just wield it, right? Like, that is Riku's Keyblade. It is assigned to him specifically. No one else can wield it. That's essentially its eternal contract, quote unquote. But Keyblades, you see in Kingdom Hearts 1, though it does seem to fade a little bit later on, but still, they do have will as recently, like, even technically, it's their wielder's will in KH3, technically. It's only if, like, Riku does have a hand Kyrie, a Keyblade, that kind of stuff. I don't know, there are some weird exceptions. But notably, Keyblades are noted to have their own will, right? That's how the whole registry system works, right? Like, they choose their wielders, and they can choose to leave them. The best example of this is obviously in KH1, when this lore is really established, where the Keyblade's like, oh, man, Riku, that hard-looking man swole, and just leaves him. But that's the thing. They're implied to have their own level of sentience, belief, communication, right? So technically, going with the example, if this truly were the real ultimate weapon, I couldn't wield it. It would simply vanish out of my hands because I'm not Sora. But clearly, the enchanted blades kind of work a little bit differently. They work, unironically, more like the Kai blade, aka the original Keyblade, where whoever gets their hands on it seems to have dominion over it, right? Because think about it with the just internal contracts in general, right? The second that Uruha was dead, quote unquote, dead, quote unquote, it's not like the Keyblade or the Kumiguri maintained any loyalty to him. It was like, well, contract's over. And then the second it wasn't even picked up properly by Hirohiko. Hirohiko didn't have hands. Hirohiko put his teeth on it, and suddenly it was his, and only his, and he's the only one who can use it. He's the only one who can use it because like Chihiro was using Cloud Gouger, but that's after Sojo was dead. So like, clearly, it does seem to be at least a little bit Keyblade based, but I do wonder, like, how much sentience am I supposed to believe the Enchanted Blades have? And sentience, too, that where they could overwhelm their master, right? Or, like, overwhelm their wielder. Because in Kingdom Hearts, we don't really have an example of that, right? And Kingdom Hearts is one I go to because, obviously, it's my favorite video game series. And also just because it's one of the only other series I can think of that usually has, like, semi-sentient weapons. So I don't know. Would the Shinichi drive him crazy? If anything, I feel like it would just be like a feedback loop. Sort of like how Dr. Octopus's arms are handled. There's another good example. Dr. Octopus's arms, like, essentially just lower his inhibitions, right? Especially, like, in Spider-Man for PS4. But even, like, in most contexts, or not most contexts, once again, I haven't read every single version of Doc Ock. But in a lot of contexts, all the arms do is enable Doc Ock. They allow him to do more physically, and then lower his mental reserves, quote unquote, so he's willing to do more devious things that would typically be against his moral code, such as, you know, going forward with the dangerous experiments and stuff like that, and even in the Spider-Man PS4 releasing a deadly illness just to get back at Norman, right? So, if anything, I feel like the Enchanted Blades are more implied to be like that, where they're sentient? In loose quotation marks, but they're sort of just like, if the wielder has a thought, it's like, yeah, sure, we can do that. That's why they're so moldable, right? They essentially fold to their wielder's will. So I don't think the Shinichi could have subsumed him, or like consumed the Sword Saint, if the Sword Saint himself wasn't like, maybe we should just boom them all. And the Shinichi was like, yeah, let's boom them all, gang. I don't think it was vice versa. I don't think the Shinichi was like, hey, gang, let's boom them all, since I'm so strong. And the Sword Saint was like, yeah, let's boom them all. Or let me just call him by his name now. Akimura Soga. Let's see. Insanity can sometimes dramatically heighten a sorcerer's abilities. The tremendous scale and power of the malediction made this theory this is narration. Insanity can sometimes dramatically heighten a sorcerer's abilities. The tremendous scale and power of the malediction made this theory compelling. With no definitive proof, they locked him away under heavy confinement to avoid any further stimulation, and have only monitored his external behavior ever since. And now, after 18 years of silence, this is his first human contact. Okay, so yeah, they never even bothered. So there are no speakers in there. They locked them and put cameras in there. But he was never able to do anything. This is his first human contact. Because every other contact he made, like the contact he made with Yura before this, and the contact he made with, he's stretching out. Looks like he's stretching out. Yep. But the contact he made with Kiora and the contact he made with Yura, there was Wi-Fi. It was very loose. But let's say, Swordmaster, we meet at last. I've come to kill you. Huh. Okay. He's giving me immediate Sojo vibes, which is why I think, once again, the brain. Akimura Sojo, maybe? Let's see. I haven't spoken with anyone in a long time. Is it cold out there? Oh. But he's moving. He's getting ready to fight. So he's legit just been chilling. Like, I don't think the seals have weakened or anything. If anything, they're as strong as ever. So, like, he's just chilling. He just hasn't moved. He's been fine. Let's see. I haven't spoken. I'm going to give him a super deep breath. Obviously, he doesn't seem to be this serious of a character just yet, but I'm going to give him a more, like, we're going to see if I can fit the build up. Let's see. Is it cold out there? What's the matter? The scholars all say that you're insane. What do the scholars know? They never asked them. Let's see. Slaughtering hundreds of thousands and going insane. Wouldn't that be convenient? Let's get one thing straight off the bat. I chose, based on my own beliefs and ideals, to kill all of those people. To protect those. Okay. But see, that's the thing. I'm not sure what voice I give him if it's not a super deep, serious voice with a heavy rasp. I don't know. We'll stick with it for now. I'll see what y'all think about the voice I'm giving him. And then, like, if his character really starts to contradict it a little bit, then I'm going to go against it. But right now, I don't know. It feels like it still does fit this voice. If anything, you know what that voice is? Like, what it's modeled off of, right? It's Madara, right? It's a very close... Like, Yura has that same voice, but without any of the rasp, right? It's intentionally doing that. They seem to be characters who are mirroring each other. But the rasp in the register of it, it's all the English voice actor of Madara. That's where it's coming from, if you didn't know. So, like, he feels like a Madara-esque threat. I'm giving him Madara. In the same way he feels like a Madara-esque threat, I don't think he is the final boss. So, he's going to fit that. Let's see. Based on my beliefs and ideals, to kill all those people, to protect this country and its people. So, interesting. So, unironically, in a way, he agrees with, what's his name? Guy who I don't care about, Kasen. like the leader, he did that in order to maintain control, or to protect, or run the country in a way, which is the same thing that Kasen wants. So he should just spoken with the Shinichi. Maybe he should have just spoken with Akimura here. Let's see. He says it so matter-of-factly.
Astonishing. I'm able to English! I'm able to sense his surroundings, albeit faintly. After 18 years in this vacuum, he's still self-aware and lucid. Any ordinary person would have lost their mind.
I think that's true, right? Like, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Capital punishment, not very effective. Want to know what is effective? In terms of because the reason I say it's not very effective in terms of like a punishment is that it's over. You know, it's quick, boom, and done. You want to really make someone go through it? You want to really make them lose it? Lock them in a box. Feed them. Make sure they have water. Never speak to them. Ever. Don't give them the slice of human interaction. Make sure the walls are made of steel. Something solid. Something they can't cut and draw into. Make sure they can't do anything but sit there and think. By themselves. And make the room dark. But just bright enough when they need to eat and they need to drink to maintain themselves. Let them be alone. Forever. That's how you break a human. Because humans are social creatures. Loneliness is a dangerous, dangerous thing. Even the most calm people who don't ever really want to communicate, they want to communicate with something. They want to interact with something. Give a person nothing. And that's how you break a man. But that's in my opinion, just based on humans being social creatures. Let's see.
Any ordinary person would have lost their mind. And above all, to think he unleashed the malediction of that magnitude in a normal state of mind.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he could have always just been crazy. But still, it is possible that he just once, kind of like Hirohiko, right? Hirohiko evolved the Kumayuri in such a massive way just based on his own interpretation and his willingness to do it. I wouldn't be shocked if that was something similar to an insanity boost, right? Where due to his beliefs and ideals and the malleability of the enchanted blades and their abilities, he was like, I'm just going to do this. And the enchanted blade was like, if it's in my parameters loose enough, and then did it. Let's see.
Did you also intentionally stop encroaching into my body?
Oh, so that's why he was fine. I was wondering. Because he stopped, like, the flower stopped growing out of him and everything. I thought that was just, like, he had resisted it, but no, he stopped. Let's see.
Yes, I want to hear a little bit of Yes, I want to hear a bit about the outside world. Haven't conversed with anyone in a long time. I want to keep an appropriate level of distance as we talk.
Brother! Wait! 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 Pause on the play! Pause on the wait! That was so. Why did I not call it? Who called? Someone had to have called it. So someone had to have, wait. Let me tell me it's an actual brother, not blood brother. Tell me it's an actual brother, not blood brother. Because like, hold on, because like, they could just be really good homies, right? Like I call my brother from another mother my brother, right? Even though he's my brother from another mother. So like, actual brother, like y'all twinning them? Like wait, hold on, what? I mean, no, they don't even have the same name. Akimoto, they must be friends, right? Right? Hold on, let's see. Hold on. I may be tweaking a little bit too much for no reason. Let's see.
Is my brother Kunishige Urokuhira dead?
Yeah, by Yura's hands. Let's see.
Yes, I led the plot to kill him.
Let's see how the sword's saying. Let's see how Akimoto reacts to that.
Right. I figured that was the case when the enchanted blade started moving all of a sudden. And now I take it you've come to kill me, right?
Oh, so he could feel. I mean, I guess, right? Once again, since he's always had the Black Scalera. What is this? Is he growing a sword? Right? But he's always had the Black Scalera, and he is the basis of all the contracts. I bet he could feel it. That's gotta be so weird though. So like for the longest time, that part of him was just like I'm trying to think what a good comparison is. I like to think of it like this. I don't know, and maybe just because I'm getting old. If I ever, in fact, I really woke up with a headache not 2 days ago because of this. If I ever leave any of my devices near me and they're on when I fall asleep, like, and I'm talking like on as in like they're not on airplane mode and like the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth isn't off, I wake up with like a blistering headache. Because the device is so close to the head and like the radio waves, I don't know, it doesn't mix. I don't like it. Like my head's just pounding thinking about it. But I'm assuming while they were sealed, essentially that Wi-Fi connection was shut off. right? Like they essentially think of the enchanted blades being on airplane mode. Him being the router, quote unquote, the Shinichi also acting as a sort of Wi-Fi router thing. I've done this analogy before. The signals probably started bouncing again once they were unsealed and they were moved about. Then he probably just felt one of the signals stop. Like, one of them just flat out died. So, like, the headache softened a bit. And then, so far, none of the other ones have broken, but they've changed hands. Like, I wonder, did he feel Kumayuri changing ownership? Did he feel Uraha die? And be like, oh, that one's disconnected. And then immediately feel it reconnect when Kumayuri was picked up by Hirohiko? I wonder. Let's see.
Yes. That was the plan.
But is he growing a sword out of the Shinichi flowers? Or is this like Shishaku's ability? I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, wait. He can just do that? He can just do that? I mean, okay. All right. This may have been a mistake. I don't think you should have done I mean, I get it. It's good to have the real thing in hand, especially if you stop encroaching on your body. But, buddy, the encroaching was really, really bad when Kira was holding it, for one. And for two, he still holds it. If you can remote summon it and you're going to bring it this close to him, what do you think he can... Here you may have fumbled the bag. At the last, you may have fumbled... Let's see.
I've come to correct the mistake of the so-called heroes. I approve of the malediction. That day, I saw the right answer. The enchanted blade should be the solution to bring order to the world. But Kunishige Urukuhira rejected the malediction and sealed away the enchanted blades.
Okay, so this does raise a question. A popular theory that's been going around is that Yura is... It was very specifically Yukisada's declaration a few chapters ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 chapters ago, maybe 4, where he essentially said Yura will be king. And it was that one where like the Shinichi flowers are growing out of Yura, and he was like... He hit that move. He was posing. But a lot of people, because of that, and I think even before that, we were under the assumption that Yura was one of the survivors of the royal family that was like on the island. Like one of the big points that we know. And I do believe this isn't like war propaganda. I think this is, or like Kabunabi propaganda. I believe it's confirmed that the original royal family of Shikoku, who did like go forward with the execution or the attack on the mainland, they were ousted, and they were all. But a lot of people believe that Yura may possibly be a survivor of that. Like he may be one of like essentially think of him like an Escanor situation where Escanor's entire family was. But he made it off because of someone sending him off into the water and bada bing bada boom like that. So a lot of people think Yura something like that. It would explain his extreme physical abilities, his ability to resist the Shinichi a bit better because it is the Datenseki, or at least based on the material of the Enchanted Blades is the Datenseki, which obviously he would have a resistance to because that's what all the people of the island did. And extreme physical strength could come from his royal blood, stuff like that. Like that's all could be the case. But him approving of the destruction of his kingdom is interesting. But at the same time, if the kingdom wasn't enough, right, and it's clear that at least if the initial attack is to be believed, I don't think that's Kabunabi propaganda, where the people of Shikoku did attack under the orders of the original royal family, it's clear they did want to conquer more land, right? Like they did want to take over everything. So if this could actually feed in, where Yura just sees the sacrifice of his original 200,000 people as nothing more than a test run, an experiment. Hey, whoops, these things happen. It'd be like that. It'd be like that sometimes. And now he sees the pathway. He sees the answer. The answer is the malediction. That level of control, that level of power would be something good in his hand, so he wants it. So just and notably, we didn't get a clarification. Are they actually brothers? Are they, like, they don't look alike. But at the same, I mean, to be fair, I don't look much like my brother. So, like, I don't know. Let's see.
And sealed away the enchanted blades. That was a tremendous mistake.
But, like, I don't know. These are reused panels. Both of those are hold on. I mutilated the chapter already. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk the biscuit. I probably did the last review, but hold on. I'm gonna risk the biscuit, potato chip. I'm pretty sure those are reused panels from the last chapter. Let's see. Yeah. You can but watch these be reused panels from some before, and y'all in the comments are gonna be like, well, actually, not so. We've seen these panels before. But originally, this panel and this panel are literally the exact same as. I'm sorry. I'm assuming, like, I have a loose idea of what Future Me is gonna do. Oh, is that a reuse panel as well? Is this a third time reuse? Hold on. Going too far. Let me see. Let me go back to the end here. Hello? Work? Work? There we go. Okay, so that may be reused into... Let's see. So this one right here. And then chapter... Yeah, so that's 3 I mean, hey, it's smart. I'm once again, it's only because I spent so much time with these chapters. I look at them a whole lot that even was noticed to me. But there we go. I think that's a double reuse of the... Oh, in fact, these may also be the same chart. You know what? Is this all? Well, this is the thing. There's slight differences, but especially if I think is true. I think Hokuzono Sensei does work digitally. This may just be really, really, really smart panel reuse, because I think this is also the same drawing as this. It looks... I'm trying to see if there are any, like, differences that would come from, like... No, I think this is... So we have, like, 3 triple panel reuse. And this may also be, like, a reuse of this very panel, just zoomed in. Because mouth detailing is the same. But the blood marking is different. So this is a differently drawn panel. But still, all right. Look at me paying attention a little bit. Let's see.
It was a tremendous mistake.
So we're saying, as Akimoto has something to say about that, though. Let's say. So yeah, I mean, there's not a clarification of them being like blood brothers. They're just real good homies. I guess Akimoto and Kunishige were actual legitimate brothers. That's crazy. So Chihiro's mission of redefining the past and like giving form to his father's legacy will have to involve him presumably slaying his own uncle. That's interesting. I wonder if Kunishige ever even told Chihiro about that. Let's say. So Hagiwara did drop. He did drop, or Ikuto, he did drop the Iron Sand Shield after everyone else got maledicted. Whoops, or Magatsumi, because it's not necessarily malediction, the flower thing. Let's see. But I thought that was I don't know. We'll see. Oh. Wait, no! Wait. Well, no, they're fine. Samura, Chihiro, bring, get here right now. I need you to here. Let's see.
Where is he?
Those guys at the Rakuzachi were ordinary gangsters, so sorcerers can withstand it, but... Okay. So they're fine. They're just not fine. so they can tank it, at least a little bit, but presumably they are going to need someone to come in and fix this. Let's see.
If I don't do something, and an enchanted blade takes the lives of innocent people, I wouldn't be able to bear that.
That's like the first time in like 15 chapter he's ever voiced Chihiro. Very nice. Let's see. So he left him alive, though. He did leave him alive. All right, at least Ura and Natsuki are still alive. What about Azami, though? Is he missing just an arm? He's probably just missing his hands. No, we aren't seeing it. We aren't seeing Azami. I hope he's good. Hopefully. Let's see.
If the Swordbearer is insane, the power would be in dangerous hands. Someone else should wield that power instead. The world needs a bit more order.
Wait a second. There's no way. Is Yura gonna give up the sword?
Someone else should wield the power instead. The world needs a bit more order. I figured someone needed to take on that role. But now, I'm learning that you unleash the malediction with clarity and intention.
Okay. That has to be... That has to be the same panel. This is just really... So this is smart, though. The reason I'm so convinced it's the same panel is not only is it just the exact same pose. I'm thinking it's a layering trick. It's a layering... Okay. I literally just need to Procreate because I need to update my... But it's essentially, if I'm not mistaken, what Hokuzono Sensei is doing to get away with the smart panel reuse is he keeps the same angle, he keeps the same panel, but then he has one layer where it has this shading on it, this gray line shading. And then he has another layer where he has layers of the shading and different. Like even if you look at that, the shading is here, the same. Look at this same exact line. And then the same exact line is here. Once again, the chapter is going to be super mutilated, so I'm not sure what most people are going to do. But like, for instance, you also got to see, right? Like, this is the same panel being reused. But you're actually going to go with the sword? Sorry, I just saw the same panel again. Let's see.
You and I can understand each other.
Actually, you know what's funny enough? Him giving up the blade does make sense, because I was wondering, if he did kill Soga, if he did kill Akimura, Hirohiko would die. And like, I don't think he'd be cool with that. I was wondering how he's gonna deal with Hirohiko dying if the Sword Saint died, but like, clearly he's not going to. Let's see. You and I can understand each other. Who? Wait, no. Who are you? That's not the voice. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. It's hard. For a shorter line, it's weird for me getting that voice. Let's see. Let's lead with the enchanted blades correctly together. We may be cooked. But like, is it gonna be a double cross? Is Yura just trying to get his guard down? Let's see. Oh, he's just goaded. Oh, he's just arm missing. He's just goaded. Okay. Oh, he's just go. I was wondering where he's just goaded with the sauce. Okay, so I know he's using the healing thing, but he's just goaded with the sauce. You freaking demon. It's always still tweaking. That's right. Oh, gee, Blitz of Doom. Arm for arm, hand for hand, band for band. All right. Dragonfly. You're a walking corpse. Whoa! He's so, wait a second, he's so glee with it. He said, if I ain't got hands, I got feet for you. He's probably gonna dragonfly that off too. Alright, let's say. Might as well become a demon. Yo, Azami. It's just like, even on my reread, I reread, with the context of current Azami, I reread the whole manga. And like, Azami, when he first shows up in that ugly behind fit, I was like, you know, he's still a little goofy looking. But no, this man, he's got aura. But let's see, so they have to be real brothers, right? Because he's flashing like a Shiro right now. Might as well become a demon. Alright. Chihiro, Azami, Shiba. Oh, so Shiba's at the coffee shop. Or at the sushi shop that the other sword bearer runs. Phone's still not ringing though. So they weren't, so yeah, so Yukisada's still alive. But Azami's still here stalling. Alright. So, W chapter. W chapter, dare I say. If I do the clock, that was a W chapter, dare I say. Literally, like, first things first, finally meeting the Sword Saint. Once again, I may change the voice up a little bit. He's a lot more relaxed of a character than I thought, and just a lot more chill. But at the same time, I do kind of like the whole, like, knockoff modern voice I'm giving him. But, very specifically, the swordmaster, Okimura Soga, seeing him, not even in action, but just hearing him, seeing him speak, seeing him move, he gives off a much different vibe than what I was expecting. And it's a different vibe, not in a bad way. There are some times where, like, we get super crazy amounts of build up to a certain character, and then they fail to meet the vibe check, right? I can't think of an example of that without spoiling some major series, so I won't go into it. But I typically think of something like that. However, the Sword Saint is definitely different than what I thought. Okimura Soga. He's very different. But I think it's interesting. I think it's a more interesting path than, oh, he's just crazy. Like, don't get me wrong. The idea that he was a madman, that was showing us the real dark side to the enchanted blades, that the original theory was right, that ultimately he was just subsumed by the raw power, and he was so used to slaying the people of Shokoku that he ended up just being consumed by that. It was an interesting idea. And it would have been an interesting concept to see him take on, like, once again, I've talked about this in previous reviews, but like a three-way villain triad group, where there was like or a three-way group, where there was the Hishaku on one end, the Sword Saint, Akimura himself, with the Shinichi on the other end, and then it was Chihiro and crew, presumably including Samura, Uraha, Azami, Shiba, and stuff like that. And obviously the Masumi. And possibly even Iori. But, seeing that he is sane, he is cognizant, he just believed, according to his own belief system, that no, for the sake of the country and its people, I need to slaughter them. It is interesting. And seeing him be rather lax, yet at the same time rather capable, right? Essentially, he what this chapter implies is that he took his imprisonment in stride. He's like, fine, y'all can do whatever y'all want to me. Y'all can be mad at me all you want. You can do all this damage. Doesn't matter. I did what I thought was right. I'm chilling. You can leave me here as long as you want. I'm good. And he's just been here, chilling. It's clear that he's still capable of moving. Yura did not destroy anything, right? He is still just in there, sealed with less power than ever before. But he's still able to move. He's still able to talk. He's still able to communicate. He's still rational. He's still sane, which implies the level of insanity of itself in a way. Being alone for 18 years, not speaking to anybody, would normally drive a person crazy. But clearly, Akimura Soga is not normal. So I like that. I like the sanity behind it. And I like that Yura is, if anything, inspired by that insanity to make an even more insane play. Trusting him with the Shinuji. It does sort of circumvent a weird question of what Yura's intentions were with Yurihiko, allowing him to wield Kumayori so early before slaying the Sword Saint. But at the same time, it does also lead to an interesting proposition. And I wonder how Akimura will react. Because ultimately, he's just confused. He's like, who are you? Because he doesn't get Yura. Yura's the first person he's spoken to in 18 years. He just learned that his own brother, and that's another big thing, is my brother, Kunishige Yura, dead. Unless it's going to be later confirmed to be blood brothers and things, Akimura being directly related to Chihiro, our main character, kind of crazy. Plays into the whole idea of what Kagurabachi has to do with, like, history and legacy. It plays into a lot to its major themes, that the person who caused the malediction 18 years ago and led to this entire story, as we know it. It's interesting that he's related to our main character. Our main character is literally going to have to fight the legacy of their father, in the literal sense of fighting the Enchanted Blades, and in the more literal sense of fighting his uncle. If that is, like, actual brotherly things. Like, real biological blood brothers, stuff like that. Not blood brothers, but, like, biological brothers. So that's a cool extra layer added to him, too. And I like his confusion. I like his uncertainty. Once again, he's just a really interesting character, and it's been one chapter of him speaking. He has lived up to the hype in a different way, which is very, very impressive. Yura is insane. I will not even sit here and deny that. Yura is just genuinely insane, and I'm loving it. I'm very interested to see how he's going to go with it. I wonder if this is all a build-up, all a trick, all a misdirection, or if he's genuinely interested in it. If he thinks, yeah, you know, as long as we work together, we can rule this world. We can take control. We can be the king. Essentially, he's going to use the Sword Saint as, like, how he intended to use Samura. But of course, the Sword Saint's much more powerful, so I'm shocked he'd even risk it. But there is that. And obviously, Azami himself coming out and ore farming is very, very cool. But even then, how this chapter ends, right, with Azami lunging in, might as well become a demon, flashing back to young Chihiro and Shiba at the sushi shop, or Shiba at the sushi shop at the end. It's clear that even with all that Chihiro knows of his father's past, Shiba and Azami know more. And they haven't told him everything. And even though they've said, we'll tell you more, they haven't told him everything still. There still is a dark part of Kunishige Urukuhiro's past. And obviously, Akimura Soga's past, and Shiba's past, and Azami's past. Something that's driving them to this point. Very simply Azami in the case that he's fighting literally without his hands, but also in Shiba's case that he's still hiding information. There's a reason why Shiba's considered so strong. He's the apex of sorcery. Azami's so strong. Like, there's so much unknown in the best way possible. I think that's how I gotta describe it. And for that, let me hit it for the 2nd time. A W chapter. If you made it all the way to the end of this review, please do me a favor and leave "The Curtain Rises." Not "The Curtain Falls." I really thought we were going to get a battle, but no, "The Curtain Rises" in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you're going to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. So now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include live reactions, share the series I am to review, add variations of all my videos, and also your name at the end of literally every single video. $3 members and up, or sketch tier members and up, get access to their name being read at the end of every single video and not just listed. Literally every single video I produce. Speaking of every single video I produce, there is a second channel of mine that got the reaction. It'll be linked in the description down below. I do reaction videos over there every Saturday at 1 p.m. So if you ever want more pencil content on your Saturdays, there you go, over there. There's only like 8 videos up over there, all covering a variety of topics: JGK, CSM, MHA, whole bunch of stuff over there. If you do want to check that out. And if you want to request a video, whether it be a full video, that'd be 25 beans to the Ko-Fi one time, or a short video, like a 1 to 3 minutes, 1 to 5 minutes. That could be 5 beans real quick into the Ko-Fi as well. But regardless, I want to thank you so much for watching and hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Got the Pencil, writing off.
I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, Brandon Payne, J2MA, Giyomi, Bura Ura, Enzo, Swift Strike, Super Flame Zero, Yuki Ally, Azo2404, Striker Man, Grim, Straw, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Magic, CCC, Official Popeyes, Ramondo Furin, Cray Panem, Sarah Fiel, Dino, Axis XE, Plant Crone, Pickle, Heath Nelson, Hector Gonzalez, P-Sub, Black Sage, Zapro, Tim Thomas, and Alex Kenny. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our line art tier patrons: A+A, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, and Midnight Lord 21. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our ink tier members: King RTX and Shrimpo the 4th Shrimp 06. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. I'd like to give a final thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Waki Munoz and Waki Munoz.